All right. What is up, everybody?
Hey,
Sorry for the delay. I am, as you can see, in a new setup here. I'm using my girlfriend's laptop and her fancy microphone. Check that out. I'm like a real YouTuber now. So me and Ratelle were just getting stuff set up. I have this light. Not too happy about it. But anyways, let's get into it. Hello, everybody. Hello, Steven Dangerfield. I saw Jethro up in the house. Who else is here? Green Feathers. And yeah, that's who we got right now. Hope everybody's having a great day. Today we are joined by our good friend Ratelle. Ratelle, what do you want me to call you? Mark. Can I call you Mark?
yeah, Mark's fine.
All right,
Yeah.
sweet. So we see Ratelle in the chat all the time, all the different ortho streams. He's a great guy, and he has his own channel called Ratelle. And I clicked on it the one time, and I noticed he had that big wall of VHSs behind him. And I'm a huge VHS collector and aficionado myself. So when I saw that, I was super happy. I'm like, yes, okay. So he makes a lot of videos about VHS tapes, different rare ones, basically your whole collection. He does live streams. I saw the one that you did during the beginning of Karunka, and it was really funny. You're making jokes, and I was laughing. So I enjoy your channel a lot. And so that is linked in the description for anybody that wants to go check it out. And he also runs a Facebook group for VHS collectors called the VHS Wildlife Preserve, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's been going for like 6 years now or so. Pretty cool.
Wow. How many people you got in there so far?
About like I think there's like 2,300, something like that.
Wow, nice, dude. That is awesome.
There used to be more, but there's kind of a lot of blue pill people in the VHS community, and as I started transitioning, when I started getting red pilled like Based,
right.
it was just like I was going at it, dude. Like I was coming in hot with the truth, and not a lot of people appreciated that. Let's just to put it like
that will definitely.
It was actually a lot more people at one point, like 5,000 or something, and then I think we lost about half. But we're still going strong with like a good core group too that are like loyal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Anytime you start talking about truth or about controversial subjects, you're going to lose a lot of, like you said, the blue pill type people that are there. But in my opinion, that's kind of what you want to happen. Like that's what I did with my channel. Yeah, it's a blessing. You get rid of the chaff, and then the people that you really want there see and appreciate what you're doing. And it's a slower progress. It's a slower thing to build because there's just less of us. There's less of there's just the mainstream, and then there's the people that don't follow that mainstream. So but it's definitely I think it's definitely worth it. Let's see. I wanted to get into. I have a couple of notes here before we get into our main topic, which we're going to be talking about your VHS collecting, maybe some of your favorite films that you have collected. We're also going to talk about specifically anthology films, because I know me and Mark here both really love anthology films and the types of like Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, those kinds of shows and movies. My favorite type, like when I was a kid, the first thing I got into was Goosebumps and Twilight Zone. Those were the two things I would go to the library and take the tapes out, and that's what I always got into. And so even to this day, it's one of my absolute favorite things. But before we get into that, just want to cover a couple of things. So last night, obviously everybody please like, share, and subscribe. Donation links are in the description, and all that YouTube stuff. Yesterday I went through most of my channel and got rid of most of the videos that I had still left on there.
I almost did that today. I was looking at my old stuff. I always cringed super hard looking at my old material while I was still, because I was during that time I was under such spiritual delusion. It comes through in multiple ways.
Right.
It just everything I did. Yeah. Just like as I'm moving towards Orthodox now, it comes through in everything I do as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cringy. Yeah, it's definitely cringy to go back and look at my older stuff. And then on top of that, the more I do these interviews, and it's obviously better content, better quality, and actually entertaining to watch, I hope. And the older stuff just isn't. And so as I start inviting bigger guests on, they go and they check out my channel, and I don't want them to go back too far and watch those videos and be like, what is this? What channel am I going on? So I figured get rid of all that, keep the good stuff, you know, so that when people do check out the channel, you know, they see only the things that I'm proud of. I did leave a select few of them on there, not very many, but a select few that I just thought, okay, this isn't too bad or something like that. But for the most part, they're all gone. I had like 200 and something videos on YouTube, and now I think I'm down to like 20 or 30. But hey, you know,
wow.
What's that?
I didn't know you had that many on your channel at one point. 200 videos. I didn't.
Yeah,
I had no
I've
idea.
been doing it for like 3 or 4 years. So yeah. But always with the phone and just sitting in front of a phone, just me talking. So, you know, I mean, it's like, it's not the most fun stuff to watch. I mean, they're not deleted, they're set to private. So in the future, I can, you know, if I find that I deleted one that shouldn't be deleted, you know, I'll just bring it back. But for now, we're just going to be going.
I know one thing. Your
What's
interview
that?
with Mikkel was awesome. I thought that was cool. I thought your interview with Mikkel was really well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Mikkel is actually going live tonight with our homeboy, the Green Feathers. So everybody go check that out, because everything Mikkel touches turns to gold. The guy is a homie, a king, right? And he's just a natural at the interviewing. He's got really interesting stories. It's really interesting to listen to him talk. So I told him, dude, you got to make your own channel. You know, I don't know if he's interested in that at all, but he should. He's just very good at speaking and has good takes. And so everybody check out the Green Feathers today. Green Feathers, post in the chat what time y'all are going live. I think it was 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, but post in the chat. So also another thing I wanted to cover, this is just kind of a current events thing, is that YouTube is set to delete the dislike feature or hide the dislikes. And that just makes me so mad. It makes me so angry because sorry, your audio is getting a little bit low, so I'll repeat yourself.
Is my audio okay for you?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's just that because I'm not paying StreamYards, if we both talk like too close to when the other one does, it shoots down a little bit low, at least on my end. So everybody in the chat, please let us know if the audio is coming through good. I just want to make sure that we're not having any you know, seriously bad issues here, but I think it might just be in my headphones. But yeah, they basically hate any time that you can have sort of anything close to a real democratic process. The dislike button, right? All these Joe Biden White House videos that come out, they get hundreds of thousands of dislikes and only maybe 1,000 or 2 thumbs up. And they hate that because it's really showing the voice of the people, and they absolutely despise that. And so, yeah, they're talking about, they had one guy from YouTube come out and make a video talk about how it's bullying. The dislike is bullying. Trevor Noah just recently came out and said, I can't believe they ever had a dislike button. It's bullying. You can bully people with the dislike button. So they basically are just trying to hide the fact that they have no public support and that we all see through their BS, you know.
Exactly.
So, yeah. It's frustrating, but anyways, that was pretty much everything I wanted to get into before we started talking. So, Ratelle, you're an Orthodox Inquirer, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. Yeah.
So how did you?
I basically I got into it through Church of Eternal Logos. Basically, right after I came back from that really high dose 15-gram ceremony. I just stumbled upon, by the grace of God, Church of Eternal Logos. And I was like, it was such a blessing. I think one of the first things I saw was your mate, Tom. And I saw also on his channel where he was talking about his ayahuasca ceremony, where he had to be held down and he was like kind of going Hulk mode. And I was like, man, that's very synchronistic to what I experienced. And I was very big on synchronicities, things of that nature, because I was reading Carl Jung at the time and just all wrapped up in that world. But
right.
It's cool because it led me under God's providence to Orthodoxy, which is just a beautiful, it's just crazy how that all came together. But yeah, I was on a truther path and I was connecting all the dots, and you know, I thought I was on the brink of like finding the manna spoken of in the Bible. And you know, I was delving into things from peyote to mescaline and other forms, and just I was all over the place, you know. But come to Church of Eternal Logos, that led me to just start reading more of the church fathers and just delving into Jay Dyer and then learning more of the church history through him and watching his debates and just talking to people in the orthosphere. It's just been really cool.
Yeah, this is definitely, the orthosphere is definitely the house that JD built, as our homeboy Jethro says all the time. And it's so true. This is the house that Jay built. And so I will always be giving respect and deference to the man, the homeboy, the young boomer Kang, Jay Dyer. He has brought so many people into the Orthodox Church just through his lectures and stuff. It's really amazing. Because I had this very similar experience, coming from psychedelics and the sort of new agey worldview and stuff, and really believing that and thinking that was like smart and intelligent way of, seeing the world and stuff. And then when you actually come to terms or come in contact with somebody like Jay or somebody like David that are showing you, or even, the church fathers what they're talking about, show you how weak your worldview actually is in contrast to that, and how strong the patristic commentaries are, the church theology, the worldview. It's night and day. It's a whole different ball game. It's actually intelligent and true and right and good. David Patrick Harry, man, the guy is just putting out so much great content, and really puts a lot of time and effort into.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, just like setting up and notes, and really he takes it seriously. He doesn't waste people's time. He puts together a tightly formed content and puts it out there. And so he is definitely, in my opinion, he is like right up there with Jay at this point. Obviously Jay's the Kang. Jay's but it's like David's getting really good, man. He's getting really good. So and it's beautiful to see all of these different content producers, because they all have different perspectives. They all have different, places in their life that they're coming from. So it's not like a competition. It's not like, oh, this guy. It's like, no, each one of them has a place. And I think all of us have a place at this discussion. As long as you're coming to the church, as long as you are taking it seriously and really trying to be a Christian and live a Christian life, you have a unique perspective. And because of that, as long as you are in the consciousness of the church, like, you're valuable and you have something to say. And so I think that's great, man. I think it's really great. And I'm trying to encourage more people, make a channel or just write an article, do something, something to help, what I mean? And David had a great point when he was on with Allison. So David Patrick Harry, if you didn't know, was just on our Homegirls channel, A Devotional Heart. And that was it was so good. It was a beautiful stream. I was literally tearing up when David told the story about Abbot Tree Fund. Yeah, it was powerful, dude. It was a really, really powerful part. And he had made a comment at one point in the stream about how serious it is to put yourself out there and talk about orthodoxy, because you can seriously misdirect people. You can if you're not taking it seriously when you're talking about the church or theology, you can get things wrong, and that can have real world impacts on people's spiritual life. So it's very important. For me, like, I'm going to be baptized next month. I'm not even, baptized yet. That's why I don't come out and talk about. Thank you. Yeah. That's why I don't come out and talk about theology. I don't do the work that Jay or David or even Brother Augustine do. I don't attempt to do that. I attempt to just, put my perspective into the conversation and try to bring people on to share their personal experiences with coming to church and stuff like that. So that's why I think it's very important to reiterate what David said about, taking it very seriously if you're going to make a channel about orthodoxy, and that's why I don't do that. That's why I have kind of, the channel's just about me and I'm Orthodox, so yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I totally get that 100%.
Yeah.
I actually found a church in my area in Linda Vista, Antiochian Orthodox church that looks really beautiful. It's St. Anthony the Great.
Nice.
Looking forward to checking it out really soon, actually. So
yeah, definitely do it, man. I mean, there's nothing like it. When you first start to go to the church and you start to realize like how real all this stuff is and how true it is, and what a strong impact that it will have on your life and on your soul. It's like, it's wild, man. It's wild. It's a surreal kind of like whoa, especially when you're coming from a secular worldview and you thought you knew about all this stuff and you thought it was just, superstitious or silly or something. When you start to grasp, how real like the sacraments are and stuff, it's there's nothing like it. So I strongly encourage you, go through with that, man. Go to the church and you will not regret it. Nobody ever regrets it.
I never hear people like going to Orthodoxy and then coming, like, I just never hear people going back from that.
Yeah,
That's
it happens occasionally. It happens occasionally, right? Because people lose their faith. It happens because people aren't strong in their faith, or something happens in their life that pushes them off the path. But I almost never hear of somebody going, from Orthodoxy becoming like Catholic or Protestant. And that does happen. Of course, there's always exceptions to the rule, but it almost never happens. Usually what happens is they just stop going to church in general, or they lose their faith, But yeah, there's people that, get convinced by the apologetics of the Catholic Church and leave Orthodoxy, but that's usually out of ignorance, because they're not interacting with the kind of really like strong top tier apologetics that like the Orthosphere is putting out, and that people that really, read the church fathers and understand church history talk about.
Yeah, I mean, coming from Catholicism myself, like, there's just things that don't make sense, especially with the papacy and with the Pope, calling the Pope infallible. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I mean, I can't. There's no way I could get on board with something like that, calling a human infallible when only Christ was infallible,
Right. Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, I can't even say those words without cracking up. Papal infallibility. I can't even say that without laughing, because it's just so absurd. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so anyways, let's get to the main topic, which is VHS tapes, VHS collecting, anthology films. So how did you start collecting VHS? Because for myself, when I was a kid, I had VHS tapes, and I had like a shelf full of them, and it just became something that I loved to do, and I loved to watch movies. And so as I grew up, it was just a nostalgia thing. After DVDs started coming out, I still wanted to buy the VHS tapes. I had specific movies, that I would pop in and only on VHS, because there was just something about it, just brought me back to childhood and stuff. So that's where I come from. I'm sure you probably have something similar to that.
Yeah, no, I grew up watching VHS as well from a very young age. I had my own little like mini section. I think I had like 3 Ninjas in there, and like Gremlins, and maybe like the OG Batman from the 90s, not like the 60s Batman, but the 90s one with Michael Keaton, of course. And I mean, I grew up with the CRT, and I think one of the closest things to time travel is popping in a VHS into a CRT TV and just like, throw it in the VCR, CRT TV setup. There's nothing like it. It really takes me back to my childhood, 100%.
Right.
So there's a huge nostalgia there, of course. And I grew up, I loved going to video stores and just the vibe of video stores, talking to people, the community there, like just talking about movies, all the cool characters, just different people you'd meet there. And I know I was always attracted to the horror section at a young age, like I'm sure most kids were, most young boys, I was going right into the section I'm not supposed to go to. Yeah. So, I was really into like monsters, and I always used to draw demons. And I was a pretty messed up kid, honestly, but
Right.
It's all great, but it went on to a point where I started working at a video store called Blowout DVD.
Nice.
And this was probably around like 2013-ish or something. And that's actually where I met my boy, some of my videos with Danny Sinistalker. He was a customer. He'd come in, and I was working the counter, and I'd give people like movie suggestions, things of that nature. And we only sold DVDs there at that time. Before, of course, they sold a ton of VHS, and I just missed that stuff, probably about 10 years. But, we were coming into the Blu-ray era, and I worked there for about 5 years or so at a video store. And then when I left that place, I was so used to getting my DVDs for $1 a pop that I was like, I'm not going to pay full price for movies anymore. And I found this shop called Kensington Video, which was a really cool local video store that still had VHS. They had this VHS section in the back where it was like 50 cents a pop. And me and my Danny, we would go there every, I don't know what it was. It was like Thursday or something, and we'd help him carry the owner of the shop, Guy, his name was. We'd help him carry in boxes to Kensington Video, and he'd let us get like first dibs and kind of, give us some good prices. And we found some really cool stuff there. So that's what really sparked getting back into VHS, like now, as an adult. because I grew up with
Yeah.
them, obviously. So.
Yeah, and they just look so good on a shelf from a collector standpoint, man. Like, that was one of my favorite things, putting them on a shelf. And VHS tapes are just bigger and they just look good on a shelf. I love it.
Yep. I don't mind the big clunkiness of it. I love VHS cover art. Like, there's nothing like VHS art. I like the big box tapes, like the ones in the big boxes. We got some
the clamshell. You talking clamshell or big box? Because I know there's a difference, right?
Yeah, no, I'm talking actual big box, like in a big old box. And then there's clamshell as well, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I love that. And then, like, when you were a kid, like the VHS or the VCR would like break. You have to pop open the top and mess around with it. Tape gets stuck in there. You take it out real carefully and stuff and clean it out and stuff. Like, there's just something about VCRs. I love it. I know I had a friend that was collecting VHS tapes because I used to get it. Like, I would go to thrift stores. Obviously, I know you do as well. You go to thrift stores to look for some gems you can find for like 50 cents. But for a while there, Amazon, it was like a smorgasbord. You could find some really cool stuff for like 50 cents. They had like VHS tapes for like 50 cents. This was years ago. And a friend of mine who would collect VHS told me that basically Amazon like went through and like got rid of most of their like VHS stuff. Like, you couldn't like buy VCRs or tapes. And I went on there looking, and I know you could still find some, but it's nothing like it was. Like, you just go on and find anything for like 50 cents, Yeah. So
no, now I mean they're charging a lot of VCRs online now.
Yeah, they're hard to find now. I don't see them in like Walmart or Target. You don't really see as much the VHS DVD combos that they were selling for a while. It seems like they're really trying to phase that out. And nowadays it's just this digital media thing. It's like you put your credit card in, you buy a movie, and then you have some link to this film, or you have some ability to stream it, but you don't have it physically. You can't take it over to a friend's house unless you bring your computer. You can't loan it to a friend. Like, and to me, it just seems crazy. It's like you're paying all this money to not even own anything, and at least with physical media, like, you can have it, you can put it on a shelf, you could give it to somebody, like, it's actually real and you have it. So it seems like they're trying to go in that direction of not owning, just streaming. And I'm totally opposed to that as a collector.
Yeah, no, I definitely love having something that I can hold in my hand and look at, as opposed to the direction that they're moving in with digital everything, the metaverse. You know what I mean? Like, you'll own everything inside your little VR glasses. They're like, what are they? They're buying land in the metaverse, aren't they, right now?
I have no idea, but I saw a funny meme from Babylon Bee that said, God creates metaverse where you can work, trade, learn, and talk, and he names it the universe. Literally. Yeah, it's like, we already have that. It's called the real world, a space where you can interact with people and like learn stuff. Like, it's just this push to this matrix, this matrix world. They want us to, get in your Coom pod, we'll jack you into the internet, and you can be the big, strong, buff man that, has the beautiful girlfriend. But in reality, you're just like this emaciated, like, just consumer, also battery for the machines, just true Matrix style world that they're like setting up. It's pretty terrifying. But hey, it's gonna feel good. You'll get that direct dopamine shot right into your brain. Like, you'll love it, bro. You'll love it. As long as you don't care about what's real, you'll love it. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm munching on blueberries over here.
Oh, nice. Blueberries are good snacks,
fresh
dude.
Blueberries.
There you go. Yeah. So what are some of your favorite, before we get into anthologies, what are some of your favorite films? What are some of the best things that you found while collecting VHS tapes? Might be a difficult question because I know you have quite the collection. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. What happened here?
Let's see. Okay, some of my best ones. Let me go to the shelf real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, I apologize if we're getting any.
I've got a few though. That'll for this. Let me go grab a couple real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I apologize if we're getting any interference or if there's a slight delay. Like I said, I'm trying out a new thing here. Dangerous. Power is down on Endor. Let me just make sure we're still live. Are we still live? All right. Let's make sure here. Everything okay? I'm just not sure if we're still live. Hey, Ratelle, can you hear me? We're losing him. We're losing him. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. We lost Ratelle here. I know he. Oh, there we go. He's back. All right. Can you hear me?
Okay, we're back. I can hear you.
Awesome.
Can you hear me, brother?
I can hear you. Yep. So I think we just had a little bit of trouble with the internet. So I apologize, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us through the boomertech, because it's just what we got to deal with when we're working with low technology. You know, we got that low T energy right now, that low tech energy. So no, I'm joking. All right, yeah. Show me what you got, bro.
Low T. But yeah, I got some good stuff off the shelf that I found throughout the years that definitely would be up there with some of the best stuff I've ever found. One of them would be, for sure, the Star Wars video rental library, which is the very first release of Star Wars. It's pretty cool. It's got like an official little barcode here.
Nice.
So that you know it's official. Right here, we got that right there. The official. So yeah, Star Wars right there. That's definitely one that's up there. That one's going for, I know it was going for like $150 or
Right.
so, like a while back.
Wow.
I think VHS actually went up in price because there's been some people jumping over from the video game buying market to this market, which has been up in the value.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
another one that I found.
As more time goes on, it's going to get more and more valuable, I think, as people start to
Midnight Video.
Okay, I think we got a delay again.
Video Bloodthirst.
All right, hang on.
Am
Testing.
I breaking up, brother?
A little bit. I think we might have a delay. Let me just see how
it's chopping up here.
Okay, here. I'm gonna boot you and come back in. Okay. Okay. All right, we booted him. He's gone. He's gone. No, I'm gonna boot him and bring him back in. We're still learning how to do all this, guys. I've never done this on a laptop before. And he did tell me that he had a little bit of he's never done a live stream from his apartment before, so the internet might not be the best. But we're gonna work with what we got here. We're gonna try to make it work. Hopefully, having him leave and come back will kind of reset it. Let's see, Dangerfield. So if Dyer's people are nerds and Tristana's people are bigots, what are Jerry's people? Ewoks? I think that works. If you want to call everybody Ewoks, you can. I mean, I'm not Papa Ewok, but I did say that, basically I'm like Papa Ewok's replacement. Like, I'm at that level, you know what I mean? I'm basically big AJ energy, full AJ energy. So I guess you could call me the Lil Ewok. Call me Ewok Jr., and y'all are the Ewoks. I don't know. Y'all going to have to name yourselves. Green Feathers. Jerry people equals the exposed. I've exposed all of you. Y'all are all freaking exposed. Crispy says the beatnik hobos. There you go. There you go. That one doesn't really, it doesn't really like roll off the tongue, but like, I mean, shoot. Dangerfield. Jerry, you are the shaman Ewok. That's right. I'm like that witch doctor Ewok, dude. All right. Hopefully Ratelle comes back. Okay, there he is. He's coming back. He's coming back, y'all. Let's just see about this. Let me stop sharing the screen. Let's do that. Let's stop sharing this. And let's get him back.
I think it did.
I just brought you back in. So testing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. I can.
Okay. Okay. It seems like the delay is not so bad.
It's probably my end.
It probably is, and that's fine. Like you said, you've never done you've never done a live stream from that. You don't know how well the internet works. We did a little test beforehand and it seemed to work good. But once you start streaming, things can get a little funky. So like I said, we're going to do the best we can here. And I'm glad to have you on, man. So whatever we get, I'll be happy with. So you had just showed us your Star Wars, $150 Star Wars. What did you call it? The library?
Yeah, no, I just showed the video rental library release of Star Wars, which is the very first release that they did of Star Wars. Before any of the slipcases came out, they put this out. And yeah, it's just hard to find. I came across it at a thrift store back in the day for like 50 cents, something like that, 50, 75 cents. Right. And it's pretty cool. I'm not a huge Star Wars movie fan in particular these days, but more into like just cool releases of tapes, you know? So
right.
Like a cool first release. I'm definitely into that.
Right.
And moving along, we also have this really cool midnight video release of Bloodthirsty Butchers.
Nice.
Not the best film, which a lot of these tapes that are worth more money aren't really, they're usually not the greatest films, but they'll have like some cool art that the film doesn't live up to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it'll go for like, you know, this.
He froze up. He froze up again. No. It's so true, though. It's so true that a lot of these tapes have sweet art and not so sweet films themselves. So I just stopped sharing the screen. I was hoping that would make it a little bit better. Let's remove them again. We'll bring them back. We'll do this as many times as we gotta. Thank you guys for sticking around through the boomer tech issues, through the weeds. We're going through the weeds, dude. We're out here in the jungle with machetes, hacking through boomer tech trees, trying to make this stuff work. Yeah, there's so many great films with garbage covers, and then there's so many great covers with garbage films inside of them. Creative Learning, good to see you. Long time no see, homie. That's one of the old school. That's one of the old school Exposing Powerful Lies viewers. So really happy to see you here at Creative Learning. Really happy to see all of you guys here. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoy the work that we do, please support the stream. I'm posting the link in the chat. Support the stream, y'all. Help us get some better technology so we can do better work, better stuff. And yeah, I guess to get a laptop of my own. I'm using right now my girlfriend's laptop and my girlfriend's microphone, and she got this for like $200 on Amazon, and it seems to be doing great for streams. Obviously, this isn't the best example of that, but I think that's, you know, like Mark said, it's kind of on his end. The internet quality isn't so good, but the laptop itself seems to be able to handle broadcasting. You know, I'm sure I couldn't edit together any movies. And the one thing about it is that I'm using the webcam on the laptop, so the video quality isn't as good as it is on my phone. But, you know, it's working. It's doing its thing. I got my brother up in the chat, HB Shovecraft, a.k.a. Jack Rickard, a.k.a. Anton, a.k.a. my homie older brother. What's up, Anthony? Glad to see you here. Really appreciate you coming. Jethro says, something's off, Kang Jerry. Metallica poster. You're right. I need the Metallica poster in the background. Y'all are starting to question my my realness. I don't got the Metallica poster in the background. Dangerfield Henley says, AKA Young Babushka. Yeah, Young Babushka. She loves that name. She's a little confused, but she loves it. She's sitting over here laughing. Yeah, that's her. Whatchamacallit? That's her e-celeb rapper name, Young Babushka. So she loves it. And my brother says, Asad, G, what's up, dude? How y'all doing? So yeah, we love anthology films here. We love anthologies. Okay. They will need to connect their mic cam before you can add them to the stream. So Mark is getting his stuff set up before we can add him. But anthology films, man, there are no better films. There are no better than TV than anthology, in my opinion. Like I told Mark, I started out, the first things I would get from the library when I would go there with my grandma, besides like lamb chops and like some of these, like, you know, the what's that, flying toaster, or the brave little toaster. Obviously, when I was like 4, like that's the stuff I was getting from the library. Once I turned about like 6 or 7, I noticed Goosebumps. I'm like, I got to get that. That looks awesome. Got into Goosebumps. Got into Twilight Zone. We go to the library and take out like the VHS Twilight Zone tapes with like 3 episodes on them, and I'd get like 4 or 5 of them. And it instilled in me a love of anthology, and that continues still to this day. Creative Learning says, like Creepshow the movie. Exactly. Movies like that, like Creepshow, John Carpenter's Body Bags, all of those kinds of movies are great. Welcome. All right, you're back. We're going to keep doing this as many times as we got it, brother. So I was just talking to people about anthologies.
I'm trying, brother. I'm pretty connected.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, I mean, we tried. But hey, we got something, man. You came on, we were talking, got to explain a little bit about your background. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But so I was just telling people about anthology. So what are some of your favorite anthology films?
Awesome. Some of my favorite anthologies. I got a stack here actually of some of them that I just pulled off the shelf. The House That Dripped Blood is definitely up there for me, which has this one's got Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, and it's like a 70s kind of like more gothic throwback, you know what I mean? Really cool though. Really good cast on that. You can't go wrong with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. So
right, exactly.
And another one, we were talking about this in the chat the other day. Hopefully I'm not lagging too much. I have a feeling I might be.
I can hear you.
This is the Body Bags VHS right here.
Mm-hmm.
Cool little promo release, lap cover.
Oh, nice.
And this one's done by John Carpenter and Toby Hooper.
Yeah.
Did this one. That's a really cool one. We got, of course, Tales from the Hood, the 90s classic.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Tales from the Hood. This one's so good, man.
Yeah.
So I really like that one. Doesn't have like a director that's really well known, but you got executive producer Spike Lee. Of course, he had his hand on that.
Right.
We also have the Dungeon Master. Speaking of cool VHS cover art, right there, the Dungeon Master.
Nice.
Really cool. Lots of like magic and madness going on in this one. So it's got some cool practical effects. Of course, that's another thing I love about the old 80s films, 70s films. I love that old school practical effects over virtual effects, because it kind of takes me out of the film experience when I see like crappy CGI. You know?
Yeah, same. No, I'm all about practical effects. I'm all about practical.
Helped me. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go on. We got a slight delay.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. Let's see. Here we got the Offspring. This one's really cool. Not as well known. A little bit of a underrated gem here. This one also has a late Vincent Price in it. Vincent Price, like right before he passed. I think this was one of the last films he ever did.
Sweet.
So I think he's actually like the host of this one, where he's kind of introducing these little short segments.
Oh, cool.
There's some good ones on this one. I highly recommend checking out The Offspring. Good one right there. Really cool gem.
Dude, you're bringing up a lot of ones that I've never heard of before. So I love this because, like, for me, like, I think anthology, I think, the classics, Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, Monsters, and then, like, Tales from the Dark Side movie, Body Bags, like we talked, all of that, Creep Show. Like, that's what I know.
Right.
So I'm pretty much like a normie anthology aficionado, and you're like the super aware hipster, not in an insulting way, but in a good way. Like, like some of these rarer ones. So I'm loving this, dude. I'm going to have a long list of films to go get and check out after this.
Awesome. Yeah, I was trying to bring something kind of unique, like some titles that are lesser known to the table. And
I love it.
Even one like Creep Show 2. Some people kind of looked over this one, which was a cool little sequel to Creep Show that also had who wrote on this? I think the screenplay was George A. Romero.
Yeah.
And Stephen King, but it's based on Stephen King stories.
Let's talk about George A. Romero a little bit, because George A. Romero is one of my favorite directors. He's awesome. I mean, he's just, you got to tip your hat to the master Romero. I actually met George Romero when I was 11 at a comic convention and got a picture. I'm dressed as Spock. I got my little Spock ears on. I got my eyebrows are shaved at the edge and makeuped up to give me the Vulcan eyebrows. And, I'm wearing the shirt. I got the phaser with the noisemaker. I got the communicator that makes noise. Like, I'm like full on Spock. And I got a picture with George Romero like that, and I lost it. So I don't have it anymore. It's so sad. My dream was to just print it out onto a blanket, as cringe as that is, and just have like a big blanket with this picture. But George A. Romero is the man. I really love Creepshow. Creepshow is such a great film. And so I think the reason why Creepshow 2 is overlooked is because it's just not at that same level. Creepshow 1 is like classic. It's so good. It's way up. Yeah. And my favorite George A. Romero film of all time is not even a horror movie. A lot of people don't know about this film. It's called Night Riders. And I love that movie, dude. That movie is got a special place in my heart. I have that on VHS as well. So if you haven't seen George A. Romero's Night Riders, go check that out.
That's a unique one, dude, with the dudes on the motorcycles with the post-apocalyptic vibe, I believe.
It's Renaissance fair, but instead of horses, they're on motorcycles, and it's like this metaphorical sort of idea of battling the dragon, like trying to create your own community in the world that is kind of outside of the world. It's like I connected it a lot with my traveling. When I did my hobo thing, like I was trying to build something that's not like of the world. I was in a community that's kind of outside of the world. So I kind of connected a lot to that movie, and the idea of like slaying the dragon, like trying to conquer like your trials and your struggles and stuff. So it's just a beautiful film. It's probably George Romero's most personal film. Obviously that storyline can metaphorically connect with George Romero's own personal struggles of trying to exist in Hollywood, but do his own thing and be independent. And so, I mean, it really can connect to all sorts of people's different life experiences and stuff. And it's just a beautiful film. It's awesome. It's got Ed Harris. I think it might be Ed Harris's first film. But he's awesome in that movie. You got a bunch of great actors. Tom Savini's in it. He plays like a big role in it. Like he's one of the main characters. Beautiful film. Yes, Dangerfield. Ed Harris. Now, he's been in some good ones.
I haven't seen that film yet. I've yet to see that film, but I know of a unique one for George A. Romero.
Bro, you got to watch it. In my opinion, it's better than everything else he's done. And like, I'm a huge Romero fan. At least of the old, the Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead.
Dawn of the Dead is good stuff, dude. And
all good.
Commentary of that, like just all the zombies going to the mall because they're just brainless, because that's what they did in their before they died,
Right.
And they're just giving out their subconscious, like, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing.
Right. Exactly, man. Yeah, George A. Romero was the master. He was awesome. And then, his anthology work, he worked on Tales from the Dark Side, which is a lesser-known anthology TV series, and then actually made the film Tales from the Dark Side with Blondie. What's her name? Come on, Dangerfield. What's Blondie's real name? I forget. But she's in the movie. Steve Buscemi, a really young Steve Buscemi, is in the film. Who else is in that? Christian Slater, super young Christian Slater. Debbie Harry. Thank you, Green Feathers and Dangerfield.
Debbie Harry.
So that one was directed by George A. Romero as well. And I forget, did Romero have a part to play in the Twilight Zone film? That wasn't Romero. That was Zemeckis, right? Or who was that? I think that was Robert Zemeckis.
I don't recall him having a part. In that.
Yeah.
So it must have been. Was it Robert Zemeckis, the director of Back to the Future, right?
Yes, I believe. Yeah. If I'm wrong, chat, correct me, but I'm almost certain Robert Zemeckis is the one that did the Twilight Zone film with John Lithgow and who else was in that? A bunch of great people were in that. Somebody actually died on the making of that film. I don't know if you know that story. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. It's pretty brutal, dude. They had this scene where a helicopter was coming, and a girl, and a child are running through like a puddle, like underneath this helicopter. And while they were doing the stunt, the helicopter fell on them and crushed them to death, legitimately.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I did not know about that.
It's pretty brutal, man. It's pretty brutal. And yeah, you can look it up on YouTube. And there's obviously he got into a lot of trouble for that because they kind of didn't follow proper safety procedures. And that kind of tainted that movie's legacy, obviously. John Landis, thank you. I'm so done. Why did I say Robert Zemeckis?
John Landis, an American Werewolf in London.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't know my directors as well as I thought I did. John Landis. It's been a long time. So my brother says yes. John Landis got blacklisted because he ignored safety and child labor laws. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And the kid ended up dying, if I'm not mistaken. But I know that somebody died. Either both of them did or one of them did. But they both got very injured at least. So yeah, that's a brutal one.
I was aware of the death that took place on the set of The Crow with Brandon Lee.
Yeah, everybody knows about that. Yeah,
that was more popular.
Yeah,
more about
brutal, dude, brutal, and it actually ties in with the Alec Baldwin shooting that just happened. You know, very similar circumstances.
Right. That's some interesting stuff going on. Do you think? I don't want to say any words that'll trigger any algorithms or anything, but do you think that could have been a fake flag of any to possibly maybe?
Dude, I think it could have just been an outright hit assassination. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, this girl grew up in Ukraine, like in the Soviet Union. Like, she had connections with a law firm that represented Hillary Clinton. So like, there's just a lot of stuff going on there. Obviously, the Baldwin family is very connected, and I mean, I don't know. You know, it could have just been his turn to take the flak. They could have said, "Hey, this girl's got to go. It's your turn to pull your weight, Alec. You've had it good for a long time, so we're gonna need you to take some heat in the public eye. But don't worry, you'll get off. You won't be charged. You know, it could be something like that. Obviously, that's all speculation, but that's where my conspiratorial ass mind goes. I go, oh, they took this girl out. Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. And the crazy thing is to think about, dude, Alec Baldwin, that was the guy that starred in Beetlejuice. He looks like a totally different human.
Right.
Like, crazy how different he looks from when he came out in Beetlejuice. Like, he doesn't even look like the same human at all. It's so crazy to look at him and now, and it's like, it shows when you're living, you know, that blue pill life, when you really live it like he's been living it, it affects the way you look. Like, your demons become almost your physicality.
We call it physiognomy. We say physiognomy check because literally your sins will reveal themselves in your face, and who you are is who you are is a result of your life choices, right? Who you are is literally a result of your life choices. So if you are a Bill Gates, or if you're a Henry Kissinger, or if you're a Rothschild, you're going to look like a cackling demon because that's basically what you are. You know.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy to see that the sins kind of just portrayed in this physical way, and how direct that relationship is. It's just really crazy.
Well, Cobain, I don't know if are you familiar with Cobain's channel? He's an Orthodox guy, super intelligent. He does videos with Jay Dyer a lot. Jay has him on, and that's how I heard about him. He's a 28-year-old kid. He's awesome, dude. He's so smart, and he's got a very unique personality, and he does a bunch of great videos on Orthodoxy. And he was talking about how, you know, what most people think of as themselves is really just like a hodgepodge of experiences or things you like or opinions or whatever. And in reality, you're actually the consequences of the choices you make. You know what I mean? It's not that I am the guy that likes VHS, or I am the guy that believes this, or all these. No, that's not who you are. You're a soul, and your soul, you know, develops and grows based on your choices, basically. So yeah, that's kind of where physiognomy comes into it.
That's real, dude. That's real 100%. I totally agree with that too, man. Like,
yeah. If anybody who doesn't know Cobain, check out
the things that possess I don't want those to be like my defining, characteristic about who I am, because like at a certain point, those possessions possess you. Right. You know what I mean? And it's like, I've got a lot of tapes, dude, and it was awesome at one point, and it's still awesome. I'm grateful, but it's like, you know, I'm a lot more grateful for coming into Orthodoxy. I'm a lot more grateful for coming into the one true church. I'm a lot more grateful for coming back to Christ. Like, I'm a lot more grateful for meeting brothers like you.
Exactly.
A
Well,
lot more
dude, because
great.
that's the truth. You know what I mean? The church is based in the truth. And so yeah, it's like a lot of people before, finding the truth, it's like you attach yourself with your idea of who you are, and you let your identity become, these things that it's not, but you have a true identity. You have a true individuated person, and who you are is so much more than your opinions or your hobbies. You're more than that. You're a soul. You're literally an immortal soul that's made in the image of God. And so when you come into the fullness of truth, it's like, yeah, you all those things can still have a place. Your collection, like all the things that you enjoy doing, still have a place. They add into what you are, but they're not what you are. And people attach
The root.
themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like cutting through the BS straight to the meat and potatoes, the root of it. Like
Right.
it's like just the same way I see politics now, which I was super into politics, but it's like at the root of it, this is all just spiritual warfare being like presented to you in different forms, dressed up in different ways.
Yeah.
But it's all spiritual warfare.
Oh yeah.
And it felt good to go out in that high dose ceremony that I was in. Like I knew 100% right there, like God showed me in that moment, this is what it is, dude. It's spiritual warfare. And I'm gonna throw you in the pit of hell, and you're gonna have to fight your way out. And by the grace of God, I made it out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. I mean, that is just, you're absolutely 100% right. That is what it is. And yeah, I mean, there's so many people that, like, I was also super into politics, and you see the corruption, you see the evil at the highest levels, you see the worst people in the world are in the positions of power. And it's confusing, and people think, they get all sorts of ideas of what the answer is. And or we just need to get enough people to realize that, these people exist, and then we can just overthrow them and wage war, and we'll take them out. And
yeah, you can't get salvation through politics.
Yeah.
Jay Dyer talked about that directly too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a Jay Dyer quote.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, you don't get saved through politics, and we can't build a utopia on this earth, and that's the basic thing. It's like, you take out the NWO, guess what? There's just going to be another group of them that comes up, because the problem is with the human fallen condition. You're never going to make a utopia on the earth until Christ comes back and literally redeems the earth, but right now we are as, sheep in the midst of wolves, and and that's just the way it is. Most people are on that broad path that leads to destruction. And, straight is the gate, narrow is the way. Those of us in the church that are following the royal path, you're not going to convince the whole world, to side with the truth. You're not going to reach everybody. So we have the impact that we can have on people, and we try to show people, we try to lead them towards the church, and those that will, and those that won't. But there's going to be there will be corruption on this earth. And there has been corruption for a very long time, and it's going to continue for a very long time. And that whole point is not to try to establish utopia, because everything that's on this earth right now is dust. It's perishable. It's fallen. It's corrupted. It will die. So there's no point in trying to, fixate yourself on politics and trying to get the best system, because even things like, the Byzantine Empire had problems. You know what I mean? Like, even things that are set up well will still have problems because humans are corrupt, So
we're fallen by nature. We're fallen by nature, 100%.
Right. So we're here to be redeemed through Christ, and we're here to for our souls to be saved, and the souls of our family to be saved, and to try to bring as many people into that as possible. And the meek will inherit the earth, and one day the earth will be redeemed, and things will be good. But it's important to acknowledge the corruption. It's important to realize, like, oh yeah, there is a political, societal elite that are using this cultural Marxism and this worldview warfare, and they are trying to shape your worldview and trying to corrupt you and influence your children in negative ways. It's so important to recognize that, because we see the attacks every day. We see the forced stabby narrative being pushed. We see the cultural Marxism being pushed. This wage war from the poor need to wage war on the rich, the white need to wage war on the blacks, the men need to wage war on the women, and vice versa for each of these things. And that is called.
Yeah. They rile it up like every few months. They go through these cycles, and they you know what I mean. They focus in on these. Even the trial, which is an interesting trial with the Kyle Rittenhouse, I see them playing the race card again. Like I know what they're doing. It's so obvious. Come on, guys, we've been through this. We've been down this road before. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they just every few months they have to rile it up in a new way. And I start thinking, I'm wondering, right now it's kind of dying down, at least here, for how it was been in terms of the CUFID. like the mandates and things of that nature. And I'm wondering like how long until they ramp this one up again, until they throw out something else, another lie to just pump that fear, to get people in that fear state where they're not thinking clearly, and they start just giving into whatever's presented to them to get them out, because they're just looking for an out.
Right.
And they don't want to face. They don't want to face what they've. It's a spiritual. It's all spiritual, and people don't want to face what they've put themselves, what they've chosen spiritually.
Right. That's what I was just about to say. It's just like what you were saying. It's spiritual warfare. And when you're in the church and when you know Christ, like it doesn't affect you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It affects you, but it doesn't affect your soul. Their weapons, their attacks are powerless. Literally. Like when you know the truth, their deception has no impact. The sin is pathetic. Demons are pathetic. You know what I mean? And that goes doubly for people who are led by sin, for the people who are slaves to passions, because it's like, how pathetic is it to be a slave to the most pathetic thing in the universe? You know what I mean? Like it's even more pathetic, which is why that's not what we're supposed to be. We are meant for far greater things. And that's why we're supposed to walk away from sin and walk towards virtue. And these attacks, I believe it was Cobain who said that mosquitoes can only settle in swamps. We were just watching one of his streams where he said that, and so it's like, if your soul is a swamp, if you've made it a swamp through corruption, then the mosquitoes, the demons, the parasites are going to infest it. But if you're in order, if you're living in truth and in Christ, the mosquitoes can't take home there. You know what I mean? And that's a good metaphor for it.
Yeah, like you're already full of the Holy Spirit. You have it's literally the armor of God, 100%. And if you're not full of, and you could be full of nothing, you could just sit there and do nothing, and you're still going to be open to. That's a sin in itself. It's letting you just.
Because you're never stagnant. You're never stagnant. Yeah. You're either going up or you're going down. Even if you think you're in one spot, you're not. You're going down or you're going up.
Aware of like the grace of God, like just grateful for being alive and what God has done for us, and just the fact that we have a chance to exist. I'm so grateful for the simplest things sometimes, and it's like I feel a responsibility. I feel a responsibility to speak truth. I feel a responsibility after being led to truth to lead others in a truthful direction, like David Patrick Harry was speaking on. It's like we have a responsibility to not mislead people as people that have come to know the truth.
Yeah. So I apologize to the people that are hearing this cat meow, and I hope it's not too loud. He likes to sit up in the window and yell at the other cats. Castiel, get down. Making a lot of noise, buddy. All right. Right? He's just like, what do they call it? Caterwauling? He's just like yelling, singing out the window, man. Yeah, so your cat does that?
Yeah.
Don't even think about it. He's trying to go right back up. Don't start yelling, dude. I'm going to kick you out of the room. Yeah, we got 2 cats here and a ferret. Is it like really annoying? Is it really loud?
Here on this side, it doesn't sound too bad. It's actually kind of funny.
Okay, all right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Crispy says, give that kitten her own channel. For sure.
It'll probably get more followers than me, dude. More subs than me.
Same. 100%. Yeah, it'll end up having a million subscribers.
Dude, I'm serious, man. These days, come on.
Yeah, for real, dude. So many people make like Facebook pages for their cats and dogs and stuff. It's so silly.
The fur babies, and it's like
right.
They have a child, and they just I can't.
It becomes a replacement for a child. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it has its proper place. Like, we love our animals. We love them. They're a part of our family. But when people are like, "This is my baby," and they don't have kids, and it's just like, "My little baby," it's like, it's so weird, dude. Yeah.
That's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
But yeah, dude, today is the feast of St. John Chrysostom.
Yep, absolutely. Right? Glory to God, man. Glory to God.
Glory to God, dude. Glory to God indeed. Right? Yeah, it's a beautiful day. I actually wrote down some quotes, some St. John Chrysostom quotes for the day. Maybe I could fire a couple off.
Yeah, let's hear them. Let's hear them.
All right, dude, let's do it. Hopefully I'm not lagging too much for you guys.
You're good.
Looks like it's doing better now.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Awesome. Okay, so number 1, let's see, we got happiness can only be achieved by looking inward and learning to enjoy whatever life, and this requires transforming greed into gratitude.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Number 1.
Well, that's to comment on that a little bit. Cobain also talked about this, basically how our the energy that compels us to sin is part of it's there for a reason. It's actually a tool for us. So in the same way that you can become addicted to sin or greed, things like greed, right? The same thing that compels us, that energy, that force where we say, okay, I want to do this. When you actually stop sinning, when you start walking towards virtue, that same energy is how we will good things to be. That same, it feels good to do good, when it's in its proper place, it's a tool for you. But when it's directed towards sin, it makes you the slave of it, So that's kind of turning greed to, what did he say? Turning greed to gratitude. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That was some awesome commentary there. And next up, we have God has not forgotten the man to whom he sends suffering and trials.
Yes.
I'm trying to read my own writing here, and it's not super easy. Let's see. The next word is, in this way, he's actually proving his closeness to him.
Right.
Yeah. No. Okay. Here we go. So God has not forgotten the man to whom he sends suffering and trials, but in this way is proving his closeness to him. There we go.
Exactly. I mean, the trials and the suffering that we go through is blessed suffering. It's a gift. Literally, it's the fire that we're tempered in. It's the furnace that we're tempered in.
That's why I feel so blessed to have had, and it's like I don't want to go through that again, that high dose ceremony and that experience where I literally jumped, like swan dived into a fire. But I feel so blessed, and it's like I have I'm so strong because of that situation. Like the scars that I have from there, those are testaments to the grace of God. Right. Every scar that I had there is a testament to the grace of God. I'm not mad at God for that. I'm grateful that I lived to speak about it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, I guess you could call it optimism, but it goes a lot deeper than that, than just a glass half full. This is like, the ultimate glass.
Well, for more study on that, everybody look up the biblical, story of Job, because that is a perfect story of somebody that was given extreme struggles and and he was a good guy. That's the thing, is he was a really, like, he's not sinless, but he was, he didn't sin a lot. He was a really good person, and God threw millions, he had a family, he had a wife and kids, lost them all, ended up with like leprosy, sores all over his body, and the whole time maintained his faith. And basically God allowed Satan to do this to him, through a stepwise progression of it getting worse and worse and worse, because God knew that he was a good person and knew that he could withstand it, basically, and that Satan would not be able to corrupt him. Even with all of this thing, Satan could not get him to hate God, even with all of the suffering, even losing all of his blessings and stuff. And in the end, he ended up being blessed, way more than he even began with, because he got through it, And so all of us, we have to, it's hard, but when we're going through difficult times, we have to be grateful for those difficult times and see them for what they really are.
100%, dude. 100% agree about that, dude. I'm always trying to be grateful. Just every day, I always try to wake up. Even when I come into the Cotel chat, usually the first thing I say is just grateful to be here.
Yes.
I always try to, and I always try to give glory to God. I don't want to be glorified or put on a pedestal myself. Not that I've done anything to really justify that, anyways. But I give all glory to God at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So next up, I got another quote here from St. John. The same fire which purifies gold consumes wood. So in the fire of tribulation, the just acquire new beauty and perfection, while the wicked, like dry wood, are reduced to ashes.
Exactly. And that's just what we were talking about.
Exactly, dude. Dead on.
Yep. And that's the thing is, they refer to God's love as fire often. And so it's like when we're resurrected, after this life, everybody's resurrected, not just those who are saved, but those that aren't saved. And basically in this life, we learn to withstand God's love. We learn to take on those energies, that fire, that love of God. And so the afterlife hell, there's a reason why it's called, fire, why it's called the lake of fire. It's because you're going to be, there in the presence of God's love, but that stuff's going to burn you if you haven't learned to embrace God.
Still full of sin. Yep. It's just going to be, exactly, dude. That's really cool how that all tied in. I just, I didn't really plan that, but that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. Is that all of your quotes?
No, I've actually got like 6 more or 7
Let's hear them.
Go on, let's go. All right, here we go.
Rolling.
Hell does not appear to the faithless. It is clear and obvious to the faithful.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, what more can you say about that? Exactly. When people have no faith, when people are deceived, they are deceived. Their noose is darkened. They don't see the spiritual realities that are around them. They hear people like me and you talking about spiritual warfare, and they go, what? That's just stupid. You know, they don't see it. Like, and it's so obvious when you're a Christian. It's so obvious when you're taking the sacraments, when you're cleansing your noose, when you're trying to learn and see God more and more. This stuff becomes so obvious. There's literally nothing anybody could say that could shake my faith at this point. There's nothing that anybody could say. I see it. I see it for what it is, and I see people who are blind, and it's like, okay.
And crazy, like it bleeds into all aspects of your life when you're living, like you're really trying to live righteously. It really does affect your perception and your perception to pick up on, you know, pattern recognition, things of that nature. That also has to do with IQ, but there's a certain level where you're living so much deception that you lie to yourself so much, you start losing discernment. Your discernment starts fading away.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're lying to yourself every day.
Yeah,
and that's where it really starts. It starts within. That's what that real work within is like, not to lie to ourselves, just in our heart and our minds, and
right.
It carries through. It really does.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, moving along. The next one is faithfulness in little things is a big thing. So that was cool.
Yeah. Wait, repeat that one. I didn't hear that.
It was faithfulness in little things is a big thing.
Yeah. Consistency, man. Consistency is more important. I just keep harping on Cobain because we were just watching his one Q&A, but he was talking about how
I've yet to check him out, so I got to get on that.
You gotta. He's awesome, man. He's awesome. He's really, really intelligent. He's like, he's very well read, and he's very humble. He's very kind. Like, he's the man. But he was talking about how, you know, praying in Our Father in the morning and when you go to bed is far better and far more spiritually, strong and valuable to your own soul than praying for 12 hours once a year. It's the consistency that forms the habit, which then we start to live, you know, a Christian life. So, yeah, faithfulness in small things is very important.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. I cut you off.
No worries. I was saying, like, starting off the day with prayer and ending right before we go to bed. Like, I've noticed for me personally, that's really, it just helps me get into that right state of mind that I want to be in, and it helps the spirit as well. And it's a beautiful process to really embrace.
Yeah, don't overlook the little things, the small things. Even like you said, just praying in Our Father twice a day. You know, like, that's not a small thing. That's a big thing. You know.
100%. Yeah, I've been saying the Jesus prayer a lot myself lately.
Same.
And it's really simple, just Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. And you know,
Amen.
Right? And it's so simple, and you can do it at any point. And I really enjoy that, you know, and it keeps me humble, and it keeps me in line with what really matters.
Yes, absolutely, man. It's simple, but yeah, it's one of the most powerful prayers you can say, because it encapsulates all of Christianity in that one sentence. It really encapsulates the whole point of Christianity.
Like the grace of God, the humbleness, like really just it moving through you.
Right.
The more you say that, you know, it's beautiful.
Right. Yep.
All right. Yeah, I got a couple more quotes here. So let's see. Moving along, we've got, we must not mind insulting men if by respecting them we offend God. Whew, that's a powerful one. How about that?
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's what so many Protestant churches are doing right now. So many Catholic churches are doing right now, and even the Orthodox.
That's where they misunderstand grace.
Right. That's where and I'm not saying Orthodox churches. I'm saying the same forces that are attacking these other churches are attacking the Orthodox Church. They would love to see the Orthodox kowtow and sugarcoat and change and bring in modernism and say, well, you know, if people hear our positions on these issues, they're gonna run away. So we have to change it. No, no.
Not what they saying.
That's right. We don't care about offending men if we end up breaking the truth. Say that quote one more time.
Yeah, let's run that one back. That is, we must not mind insulting men if by respecting them we offend God.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
Next one we've got is poor human reason, when it trusts in itself, substitutes the strongest absurdities for the highest divine concepts.
Yep. It's inversion. It's inversion. That's basically all the devil does. You know, it takes virtues and makes that and convinces you they're vices, and takes vices and convinces you they're virtues.
Yeah, because they can just, isn't it because they can't create themselves, but they can only take God's
Right. So
uncreated energies and try to invert them, flip them upside down. You know,
So-
that's what I've noticed. Demonic entities and things of that nature. That's the only way they can really engage.
Right.
in
And why is it like that? Because sin exists as a parasite. It doesn't have any power of its own. It literally exists parasitically off of divine power. And so like evil does not have an ontological status, right? There is no physical real source of evil that exists in the world the way that God, the source of all good, exists. You know, God exists outside of us, but evil is just the walking away from the good. Evil is the corruption of the good. And so that's why we see demons and sin. It doesn't have any of its own real power. It doesn't create anything. It just corrupts and inverts that which is good.
Powerful, man. That is so well said, dude. I'm happy you put that into perspective, because I'm still working on the vocab to get into that point. And I've got decent vocab. My pops was an English teacher, but as I was in my years of rebellion, I fell away from book reading, and I'm coming back to it a little bit more now. I'm becoming a little bit more well read, and it's cool though, man. The way you put that was beautiful. That was very articulate.
Well, that don't come from me, man. That just comes from all the time I've spent reading, listening to Jay, listening to people like Cobain and David Patrick Carey.
Glory to God.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Amen.
Yeah, so next up we've got it is impossible to be saved without the help of the most blessed Virgin, because those who are not saved by the justice of God are saved by the intercession of Mary.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Father Josiah Trenham has a great series on the Theotokos, and breaks down why we venerate her, why we magnify her, why we pray to her, and why we ask for her intercessions. So go check out Patristic Nectar, the YouTube channel for Father Josiah Trenham. We were just watching actually those videos last night. And you can't love God without loving his mother. You know, you just can't do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there because I thought that was just kind of different. He's got so many cool quotes from so many different angles, and I tried to get a wide variety of it, and just to show some love for his feast day.
Yep.
I think we got like two more here. We got two more quotes.
Okay.
So, find Jesus at the door of your heart, and you will discover paradise.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Yeah, that one's powerful. And last but not least, prayer is the root, the fountain, and the mother of 1,000 blessings.
Absolutely. And to kind of tie that one together, Cobain was talking about how, prayer is like a metaphor. Get down, cat. Get down. Let's say you take like an aerosol, like a hairspray, and you spray it into the room, and you make a big cloud of it, and then you take a lighter and you ignite it, and it just bursts into flames and explodes. Prayer is the aerosol, and the Eucharist, communing with the sacrament, the Eucharist is like the lighter. It's what ignites your prayers. It's what gives it its strength. It's what ties the entire Christian life together.
Was that an analogy that Homeboy came up with? The one you're telling me,
Cobain.
Nice. I like that, dude.
His name is Cobain on YouTube. Kabane. Cobain. So
say that one more time. Can you spell that one more time?
Kabane. So everybody, if you don't know about Homeboy, go check out Homeboy, and hopefully we'll have him on soon. He's the man.
Nice, dude. Yeah, no, I really like that analogy. That was really well put.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I love that you brought those quotes. That is awesome.
I thought that would be very fitting since it's his feast day, and
it is very fitting.
Right.
Do you have any other films you'd like to talk about before we wrap up?
Yeah, you know what? I might as well bring out a couple because it was so choppy earlier. I feel like, you know what I mean? Let me bust out a couple things to just kind of make up for that.
Sure.
Where my stuff was lagging a little bit earlier. Let's see. You know what I could do? I could show you some a mixtape I made.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Domino effect. So this is a mixtape that I made maybe about 5 years ago or so, called the Ratelle Christmas Spectacular.
Nice.
I did the art on it myself. I'm not like the best artist or anything, but I was just kind of messing around, trying to make something unique, trying to become a producer rather than consumer. Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
That's what I was going for even back then, you know. I had the right idea. I was just a little misguided, you know. Actually really
Yep.
misguided, but that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I put this out and it's pretty cool. I put out a couple like different editions. We did a part 2 to it, and it's basically me, it's hosted by me and my buddy Cinestalker. And we
Nice.
just kind of we did these like fake East Coast Italian accents, and we're just acting like complete jackasses, honestly, the whole
Hey,
time.
I'm an East Coaster. What? I got an accent. I'm fighting words. I don't got an accent, bro. I just talk normal. I'm on that normal accent. I'm on that normal time. You're in the past. You're at noon.
Right?
It's not noon, bro. It's 4:18. What you living in the
There you
past
go,
for?
dude, coming in hot with that East talk, dude. I like it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But dude, we were having fun with it. You know, we had our Mickey's 40s, and we're freaking, you know, we were wilding out. It was
Nice.
a different time, and they came out pretty fun though. Those are some of the ones that I'm more proud of compared to some of the other mixtapes I put out, which I'm a little less proud of.
Nice.
So there was a lot of them.
Hey man, that's cool. That's cool that you're making your own compilations on VHS. You're making your own cover art. That is awesome, dude.
Yeah, I'd like to do something like Church of Eternal Logos themed, or something more Orthodox themed, or like Jay Dyer, like, because I think that stuff goes hand in hand too with all the retro wave, the Dyer wave, and VHS. Like, that's really cool. I think obviously it goes hand in hand, the retro vibes, you know.
Well, speaking of Dyer wave, let's shout out our mad homie, our mad Chad based homie Amid the Ruins, coming out with a new fire mixtape in January, and who knows, man, he might even feature yours truly. So we'll see. We had a lot of people he asked for people to vote. So go over to Amidtheruins1453. And he's asking people to say which Ortho Bros they would like to see featured. So Cobain, we'd love to see Cobain featured on that new Dire Wave album. We'd love to see David Patrick Harry. I think he already put, because the video is a sample of his new album, and he's got DPH in there. So any of the Ortho Bros you want to see, go throw their names in the chat. Let them know about them.
Yeah, and, dude, I actually just found his channel like just this week. Amid the Ruins, awesome, dude. I've been playing it all week, just like reading scripture, reading church fathers quotes, and just like that in the background. Super motivating.
Dude, it's really good stuff, and it's the best like nighttime driving music ever. Like, it's not just good for the beginning of Dyer's channel, it's just good in general. It's just good fire music, and we love him at the Ruins here. He's awesome, and our homie Mick Al may be doing a collab with him as well. So because Mick Al is a musician, and I know they're talking about doing a little something. So Mick Al and Amid the Ruins. A better combination has never been brought up, at least to me, and especially if it's on. You bring in the Jay Dyer samples, you bring in all the stuff from the Orthosphere. That's just a recipe for success. That's a recipe for success, huh? So I'm excited for that.
Now that would be awesome.
Yeah. And you're talking about doing something more Orthodox theme. This comes back to exactly what I was saying. Look, I don't make content at the same level as David. I don't make content at the same level as Jay. I'm not as talented. I'm not as skilled. I'm not as knowledgeable. And guess what? You don't have to be. You don't have to be equal to other people. You just have to be the best you that you can be. You know?
Yeah, I'm trying to like stay in my lane, do my own thing. I'm trying to be very front. Like, I'm very green. I probably have already misspoken like numerous times. I'm sure I have, because there's a lot. There's a lot to learn in Orthodoxy, dude. It's very, like, when you first get into it, but that's the beauty of it. It's like nonstop. There's so much. I could just learn forever. It goes on. It's infinite.
Right. And that's why you got to watch yourself. You just watch yourself. Because today I haven't heard you misspeak once about Orthodoxy. And that's what we were trying to say is you gotta watch yourself. If you don't know something, don't say it, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I like to be upfront and just, if I don't know anything, I'll be like, hey, I don't know. Straight up. I mean, there's no shame in being honest with yourself and other people.
Yeah, I mean, because we're not here to teach Orthodoxy to people. We're here to represent ourselves, and we're here to try to be the best people that we can be. You know, the best Jerry, the best Mark that we can be. And so, again, you don't have to compare yourself to other people. As long as you're, living a Christian life, and as long as you're doing your best, you're going to have something to offer. You're going to have, increasing virtues, increasing value, and it's important. So, like, let's say you do some really cool VHS, tape that you made of like some Church of the Eternal Logos. Like, that's sweet, dude. That's freaking Yeah, that'd be rad, man. And that's something that nobody else is doing, you know? So
Yeah, no.
now you're helping the work. And that's what I'm trying to do here. You know, yeah, I'm doing my own thing. I'm trying to have conversations, but I also do the Jay Dyer pre-streams. I do Church of the Eternal Logos pre-streams because I'm trying to help. I'm trying to add something in my small way to support
a lot to the community. Like, you're a pillar in the community, dude. It's part of just like being, you know, like in the chat all the time, just super lighthearted, always cracking jokes, dude. It's, you know, those are the kind of things, they seem small, but those are the things that bring communities together, dude. That's what like makes a community, you know? Like, if you weren't in the chat, it would be a big void. You know what I mean?
That means a lot to me, man. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to contribute in whatever small way I can, try to help what they're doing, because what they're doing is so important, you know? Right. So it's like we all kind of have our parts to play and our contributions to make. And if we work together as a team, you know, we're going to, 2 is better than 1, as it says in the Bible. And that's just the truth, man.
Simple truth right there, man. But it's true on many levels. Totally, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Dangerfield posting the link in the chat. JD's "Excuse Me" banger. That's a great one. Y'all go check that one out. That's a funny song. Dangerfield says, "True dat, Mark. Jerry is a true Kang." Aw, you guys are so sweet, man. Well, Henley is a true Kang as well. Henley's our lank Kang. He's an OG mod Kang. Crispy Johnson, he's a Kang. He's got our Irish bigot Kang.
Stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Dangerfield Henley, right? I remember him speaking. Dangerfield Henley. I remember him speaking on some retro '90s stuff that he was into as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Henley loves the old stuff, man. Yeah, same with Jethro. They're into '90s stuff, and yeah, that's why I love talking with them. We all kind of make the same references to the same like old movies and old music and stuff. So a lot of shared interests in that group. Yeah,
most definitely, brother.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you all for being here. I'm going to post the PayPal link one more time. Like I said, if y'all appreciate the work we're doing, if you want to try to help us, you know, increase the technology and support the show, I really appreciate it. We don't get sponsors or anything like that. We're still starting out and we're trying to build the channel up a little bit. So any help is appreciated. Y'all, we've got all of Rattelle's links in the description, his Instagram, his Facebook group for VHS collectors, his channel link. So y'all go hit all them links, go follow him on all those places, and show some love, show some support. Like I said, we got the Green Feathers kicking off tonight with an awesome stream with our homeboy Miguel. That'll be at 8:30. We got Jay Dyer going live. We got the Kang, the legend Jay Dyer going live tonight at 5:05 or 5:30. It's a weird time. He's going to be going live soon. He's going to be, let's pull it up right now and see exactly what he's talking about tonight, because I don't want to misrepresent it. But y'all know where we're going to be. Y'all know where we going to be when that happens. We're going to be right up in that chat.
Right in that chat, baby.
Yep. So go check that out. And who else? Allison, A Devotional Heart, one of our based homegirls. Check out her interview, not only with Miguel, but with David Patrick Harry. He just did that.
That was so good. I can't get over how good that interview was. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it every time.
It was so good. So good. I was tearing up, dude. I was straight crying like a baby because I was moved. I was moved by the stories he was telling. And isn't it just so beautiful to see David come into his purpose? Because he talked about that a lot. And it's like, you can just see, like, this is what he's meant to do. This is where he's supposed to be. And it's just so beautiful to see people. 100%. Yeah.
100%, dude. It's like, and I relate to him on many levels, like the martial arts leading to New Age. Like, I was getting into jiu-jitsu and I saw Hickson Gracie doing Kundalini, and that's what led me there. And it's like he was doing Taekwondo, and then he started getting into Taoism. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just interesting, and it's really cool to see how far he's come, and just like how all of us have come to the same place, from the same mistakes to the same conclusion of at the bottom of all these rabbit holes is orthodoxy in Christ.
Exactly. So many of us.
Single rabbit hole, dude. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's nothing I've seen like orthodoxy in Christ. Like, this is it, dude.
Yeah, it's it, man. It was what we were looking for the whole time, man. You know, the searching for the truth is a relationship with God. It's building a relationship with God. And if you sincerely care about the truth and you're honest, it will lead you to Christ. Like, that's just
like, I literally had a Facebook group called Quest for Truth, like right before I came to all this. You know, like that was it. it was what I was about, you know. It was.
Yep, exactly. I mean, Christ is the truth. The truth is a who, not a what, and it is Christ. That is the truth. So if you,
away, 100%, dude. And I want to say again, thank you so much for having me on, brother. I'm super sorry if there was any technical issues. I'm sure they were coming from my end because I'm still learning and my Wi-Fi connection isn't great here. That's why on my interview that I did with the Devotional Heart, I did it from actually a family member's house who has better, more high grade Wi-Fi. You know,
right.
that high tech.
Well, don't feel bad about it, dude. We got boomertech over here all the time. You know, we're struggling.
Like we brought it together towards the end, though. I feel like we brought it together. You know, things are flowing a little bit smoother now, and I feel like I feel like it's actually a gem as it came together. You know, a gem of a show.
Me too. I hope people will get through the beginning part on the playback. Yeah. You know, won't shut it off as soon as it's going bad. Hopefully they'll stick through. Thank you to everybody that did stick through and that did hang out with us. Really appreciate y'all. I was wrong. Henley corrected me. Jay Dyer's going live tomorrow at 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I saw the thing on my phone, the thumbnail, and I just assumed it was today. So my bad. I'll see y'all there tomorrow. But like I said, Green Feather's going live tonight with Mikael. Definitely going to want to go check that out. And yeah, bro, I'm really glad you came here. I'm really glad I got the chance to talk to you finally. Like I said, as soon as I saw that VHS shelf, man, I'm like, I got to talk to this guy. So much love to you, brother. I hope you continue on your path to becoming an Orthodox Christian, you know, and becoming a catechumen, getting baptized, because like I said, you will not regret it. And same with everybody else out there. Go to the church. You know, the least we can do is go to the church once a week and participate in the liturgy. So do that. You will not regret it. And yeah, anything else you want to say, brother?
I think that pretty much sums it up, man. Just God bless, and thank you for having me on.
God bless everybody. Thank you for joining us, and I will catch you on the next one. The next one we have scheduled, I believe, would be Radix Verum. I'm pretty sure she's coming on this Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There might be another one in there. We still haven't scheduled the David Patrick Harry one, so we'll see when he wants to do that. We also have Based Homeschool Mom coming on, so we still got to nail down a date for that. And we got some more people in the pipeline, in the works. You'll see us soon. So everybody, God bless, much love, and I'll catch y'all later.
Thanks again, brother.
Yep.